Good, aren't they?
They are brilliant.
Hey bro, do you want to hit some of these trails in here?
Huh?
Do you want to hit any of these trails in here?
Let's do the one.
I'm not comfortable with these forks yet, but we'll try. Okay, the suspension felt great over at Melcott. We'll try and like 710. I'll try and break these in. So much firmer than what I'm used to. Too heavy on the brake. Will loves wearing goggles without lenses. See what I'm done. It's got so many routes that'll really like test it out big time, you know.
If you can get there.
I can get you there. We just got to get back to the biker's hut.
Mamma mia.
Good, aren't they?
They are brilliant. Feels like a cushion. Feels like you're riding on a
You
car.
can just hit obstacles and it just settles itself.
Like you go from the light B to the ultra B with stock suspension, you're like, wow. And then you go upgrade to that and you're like, wow again.
I was just thinking the same thing. I was like, bruh.
But the thing is, it's hard to get in the middle for different uses. Isn't that true, Sting? You taught me that.
Battled with it for my entire time riding bikes.
But no, the suspension, you either have a heavy spring, which is for big jumps, or a soft spring. Like, it's hard to get both uses out of.
Yeah, Sirris actually make 4 different. They make trail, MX, EBMX, and Supercross. They're each tuned and valved differently, and then within each of those categories, you've got light, medium, and heavy riders as well, which is where the springs come into it, etc. And then you've got the normal cast crowns or forged crowns, or you've got the CNC ones like these. So whether you're like heavy, light, whatever, you have to like kind of have your forks tailored to you.
Yeah.
But these are the medium. I'm slightly light for them, but they're breaking in, and I've always been used to riding heavier setup suspension, because where we ride here there's lots of roots, so you're hitting those at like 30-40 mile an hour and you're really like hammering on the suspension. So I feel like for where we ride, you're better off having it slightly firm than too soft.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you can also jump it, like you just turn up the clickers, compression, dial up that compression, and then you can do bigger jumps and stuff and not worry about bottoming out.
Yeah, buddy. Where are we going?
I don't know, let's find a trail, let's just find one and follow it. It is a little bit firmer than the Fast Ace comparatively, about halfway through the clicker adjustment range, so it looks a bit much. So I want to be hitting some trails in a minute. I want to be really hammering this fork, and when it comes into its own is when you're hitting stuff fast and hard. When you're just poodling along, you know, at a medium to slow pace, you don't really get the benefit of the fork that much over something like the Fast Ace. And for 99.9% of people, I think the Fast Ace is really, really good bit of kit, and I think it will, you know, it will be a better option on the budget and price aspect. However, if you're a really experienced rider, I think then you're going to definitely get the benefit from the Sirris if you're doing track events, enduro days, etc. And what I love about the Sirris is that the information available online for the product is just fantastic. Everything from, oh, there's a helicopter. Everything from how many clicks to adjust at each time, the Newton meter torque specs, simple stuff like setting the height and getting the balance correct first being very important. So yeah, I think that's awesome, absolutely awesome about Sirris. There needs to be more information online about suspension, but also with the Sirris, you can really tune it towards your weight and riding style. So they offer 4 different types of fork and shock tuning. So the valving and damping based on what you ride most. So they've got a trail tune, so this is probably going to be the one for those that are novice or new to riding, slower pace and less aggressive riding type. And then you've got the EBMX tune, so this is sort of firmer again, but still not a full-blown MX tune. You've got extra travel with that for the extra weight of modified bikes. Then you've got your SX tune, so Supercross, which is for really high impact landings and fast riders. They do state that this is not for people that aren't sponsored or professional riders. And then you've got the MX tune, which is, you know, based for the MX track, which might be a bit too firm for most people on the trails. But each discipline of riding also has a heavy, medium and lightweight rider spring rate, so you can really, really tune it in. Now with the Fast Ace, I never bottomed that fork out. It felt like it had more travel than it did. The only thing that bugged me was that it was 10mm shorter than OEM, the fork itself, so I had to pull them down in the crowns a bit to combat that, but it was not really a problem at the end of the day. It just might put some people off initially. However, I will say you really don't notice it, and it really doesn't affect the way that the bike performs. So if anything, it does give a little bit extra front end traction that you didn't have before, so it can be a blessing really, where the front of the bike is just has a little bit more weight on it. It's funny because Sirris actually have 2 markings on this, so it has a taller and a lower, so if you feel like you're a more backwards rider, like you sit more towards the back of the bike, you want to drop that down on the front. But yeah, let's hit some techie bits like this. I have a lot of grip with the Sirris, and the bike just feels like one. Obviously I was on the standard shop before, but they do have a fast ace shop, which I'm sure is brilliant. I just haven't personally tried it. Jesus, dude. Where are we going? Oh my god. I was thinking, where are we going? Where are we going? Hey! Wow. Wow. So guys, yeah, I really do like the Sirris suspension. I do feel like for a lot of people the Fast Ace is going to offer a good performance, like sort of 80% of the performance for like around half the money. Obviously with the Sirris though, you do get the shock. I've never tried the Fast Ace shock myself, but the forks on the Fast Ace and Sirris are both brilliant options on different price points. Now, the Sirris are a lot beefier, and I do gain a bit of travel with these ones over the Fast Ace forks. However, EMXQ Technic do offer a 260mm treble SZC fork, which I'd like to try in the future. The only thing is that the Sirris do need 5 hours of bedding in, which I've done. And they significantly soften up actually. So yeah, really like the Sirris, but I also love the Fast Ace. So we'll just swap over now. So here's the Fast Ace. As you can see, they're a bit slimmer, a little bit shorter on the travel compared to those EBMX tuned ones. But the beauty of the Fast Ace is that they slide straight up into the OEM fork crowns, or if you're like me and you like going over the top, you can get a nice set of CNC crowns to match my wheels. See, I've got silver and silver. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. As always, my name's Stingy, and we're going to be putting both these bikes through their paces, comparing them, as I've had plenty of ride time on the Fast Ace.